Whoa, it's Wulzy. Welcome back to another Geometry Dash review episode. Oh, 10 minutes? Okay, you gotta wait for the end of the video for that chest. But today, we are going into the new power level, HYPERMANIA. And when I tell you it is a banger, ladies and gentlemen, I mean that it is a banger. Like, this is one of the best levels to come out this year. There's some very technically impressive effect work in this that I'm gonna go into in the level editor in a bit. I gotta say, this is meant to be played with a Nong song, so you gotta get like an external download. I'm just using the Newgrounds song, but I do have a copy of some cut footage that I made for this level when I was practicing it. I didn't really feel like beating it. I'm just going into it now while I'm talking. I got the level in 2 runs, and I'm gonna be using my footage of that to review this level, I think. This is kind of a decent attempt, though. There's an insane effect on these blocks right there. It looks so cool. And then this is obviously the star of the level, this rainbow effect with the circle. Goes hard, I'm telling you. Wait, I'm actually kind of like going. Never mind. Okay. Alright, so I got my footage of it up right here. This is the Newgrounds version. I thought I might as well stick with this before I jump into the not on Newgrounds version, which is objectively better. But man, I haven't seen glow usage this good in quite a while. Like, I always think of this as an idea, but I never actually go with it because it's kind of plain. But the way Power pulls it off with a bunch of spawn loops, you see the flashing red beam in the middle. Everything matches up so well that I actually don't even mind it being used here. Really simple. Oh, that transition's smooth though. Really simple dots that just move along at different speeds. Like, it's so easy to do, but power just blows me away every time. This creative structuring, it's all boxed up in grids like this, and literally the blocks are just white glow pieces, but it works so well. I can't even pinpoint why. We have a cool looking portal effect right here, how you've got multiple low opacity layers on top of themselves. It goes very hard, and you're continuing this beam across the middle, the horizontal beam. Like, the progression from the beginning with these right the way through the UFO and into this cube section is where it stops, I think. But it's okay, because we get a banger effect in this cube section, which I'm gonna go into. Okay. First of all, insane transition. Second of all, look at this layering. So there's this blue strip that basically hides these blue blocks from being able to be seen. And on top, we have this like yellow-green-ish zigzag. And these black bars on the right-hand side and the left-hand side, actually, it moves across the screen. What am I talking about? This black space basically covers up these strippy objects and makes it so that they only appear in this little column. Now, if you look closely into the block, you can see the little white outline where the blending is kind of covering it. But it looks so good when it's in motion, especially with the other glow in the background making that cyber grid style of background. It's so cool looking. The pink works so well too, and there's some text changes that are so fast that it actually looks like pink when it's in motion. Look at that. It's red and blue, but it's so fast that it goes to pink. And this part is so sick. So straight away, we've got an awesome technique of covering up the ground with a custom little curve. This goes really hard. We have other stripes that are covering up parts of the blocks too, which rotate in, as you can see. It looks so cool when you play it in the editor. And what I believe we have here is a bunch of circles that are on low opacity, but then shrunken in on themselves. So it's more opaque in the middle, and then we have a gradient behind to really light it up. But it looks so cool when it's in motion because it's constantly changing from light and dark. That's a sick transition too. I love the way the arrows appear through there. It's so smooth. Look at these color choices, man. If I was being nitpicky, I would say these black dots kind of get in the way of the level's style. I think it could definitely be refined or changed somehow, because look, the arrangement is kind of off, how they're pretty close to the pulsing diamond sometimes, which is the spot where the portals hit, which is a really nice indication. Helps your sight read it a lot. This wave part is so cool looking. He basically moves these glow strips towards you, which is a very common technique to make it look like you're going faster than you actually are. And you can see that there's glow pieces on the sides of these objects sometimes, which get taken away, I do believe, yeah, and replaced with this really cool triangle pattern, which is moving on and off. You see it moves right into place. It's beautiful looking. Just look at the colors here, man. It's so good. This design is super cool too. I'll get into that in a second. But we're actually using default colored spikes at the top and bottom. If I can get a good pause. Yeah, you see? Very interesting way to format this wave section. And look at the way the colors move on and off the screen in little strips. It's so beautiful when it's in motion. I'm running this back just to watch it again. It's so cool looking in the big wave. Look at it. Oh, it looks like some sort of pop music video. And it gets very bright sometimes, as you can see. This level doesn't have the prettiest standstills. I don't know why I'm pausing it so much. Okay, so the cut is like right here because I died to the spike. I think I cut my landing there. Yeah. But I love this design with the lines sticking out that rotate around. It's so pretty. And the way the level goes dark for the dash orb is really cool too. Then we have a rather odd transition into the ship, which honestly feels almost lifeless compared to what we've just seen. Just the way everything just moves on. But this ship part Para is so good at making a level feel massive. It's insane. Like when I was flying through here, I was losing my mind. The curvature of everything is just ridiculous. And this mini ship was just really confusing too. I couldn't really get the movements down at first. It took me a very long time to learn, but I really like the structuring here, how it's all lopsided and it's got the spikes on the edge, so it actually works properly as a block. It's gonna kill you, it's gonna punish you if you hit the edges. And then we have a plain black ending, which is so cool. And the level just wipes out. I'm assuming this is copyrighted, so I'm gonna try and talk as much as possible over this nong, but as you can see, the glow is now a lot more impactful when it's got the short fade in time, the short fade out time, and you've got so many notes being played at the beginning of the song, like the and the way the level just shifts in and focuses in on the middle part of the screen when the other synths come in the background. It's so pretty. And I love the fact that this UFO jump is indicated so well out of that ship section. You actually get a very slight view of what you're about to hit, which is beautiful. Also, can we just talk about the fact that the background is literally just a light blue in the beginning, and it uses like the 1.9 faded kind of background. Very pretty level. I'm pretty sure this is all spawn triggered too. When I was looking in the editor earlier, the way that these pluses move down, it's so cool looking. It is just a pulse trigger effect, but it goes so hard. I just don't even know what to say. I love the moving glow up here, repeating that technique from the wave, and the progression is so cool from the beginning. I love it so much. We have these little small blurry diamonds to tell you when to jump, which are moving up and down. It's very nice. This is probably what I'm thinking of with the black dots in the middle ship part, how they just sort of sit there, whereas earlier on in the UFO, we have so much movement here. But this is just so cool. What Para does is a simple spawn loop to move things up the screen, and then when it matches a certain point, you can move it back down with 0 move time to reuse it and move it back up again. So when you're looking at this background and seeing the glow moving up it, it's not just the glow moving up, it's moving down incredibly fast where you can't see it. It just looks like a constant stream of glow moving up. It's very pretty. And this transition is so cool. Obviously the sync is so much better here. We have the blocks that are moving up and down to the music. Color schemes are immaculate. Beautiful orb designs right here. And it's really nice to see him mix a modern style in there with the clouds at the top especially. It's so thematically interesting. Look at this transition, dude. It's so awesome. I absolutely love the pulses, how it makes it go lighter and darker, and then we have the other colorful ones that just change the color. So you get a mix of like super high intensity, but then also some really pretty colors too. And you can see they kind of cut into this wave design right here. That transition into the wave was always very interesting to me. I don't really know how he pulled that off so well. And then we have some very intense drums moving into the final part, which just, it's so cool. The way this song helps the level progress is so insane. The way the synths build up in the beginning, and then we have the drums with the glow at the end. See, glow use can be interesting and cool, guys. I promise. Look. There you go. There's the wipe that I was talking about. The doom. Alright, here we are in game. You like my 69% normal mode? I don't. Anyway, here we go. So what was fascinating to me looking at this in the editor was just playing the song. I'm muting the actual sound on the recording, but just look at how this works. You see we've got a spawn trigger for the little pluses that extend down, and the level just keeps on twinkling. It's really interestingly made. We don't have the movements in this visual right here, but you can just see the amount of alpha trigger and pulse trigger usage here. It goes so hard. And then we have probably the star of the show here effect-wise. This a crazy beast. The first thing to comment on, these structures, they're on B2 and 4. So they technically go underneath the other structures, which are T1 and 3. But since this huge screen right here is covering them up, you can't tell, and the yellow is displayed. And then the yellow goes underneath the strips on the right-hand side and the left-hand side right here, B1 and -7. Such an interesting effect. And the layering allows you to put the grid over. Look at these designs. It's so pretty. Even without the effect. The fact that you've just layered this yellow stuff on top and it still looks kind of fine is funny. Okay, so we have a bunch of circles move on and the gradient is behind. And they kind of just rotate around each other and create that really cool opacity overlap that, it's just so freaking fire. Anyway, it's really funny just playing this level and just watching it all unfold, because Para went hard with the rotations and it's so pretty to watch as a result. Just look at it. It's all spinning onto the screen. We have an insane line effect right here, which I barely even noticed. Yeah, look at this with the different thicknesses of the lines. Para puts so much into every single part he makes. It's never just one effect. You've always got something else that's always so impressive in there too. This transition right here that I'm about to show goes kind of hard too, where everything fades out. You can see there's a light green gradient, if I can even select it. This one right here, it gets moved away and then the circles are shifted up. So you kind of get a glimpse into how this even comes together. And then the ship part part comes in, and you gotta fly up really fast. Can I make it? Yes, I can. But yeah, you'll see how the background kind of just skips along with the player because of the spawn loop that he's got that just shifts it forward constantly and saves a ton of objects. And you also see the really cool laser beam effect on the blocks. God, this level is just so pretty to look at from afar. And there you go. They just move backwards and forwards like that in such a way that you'd never even notice. Another technique is this gradient that moves along with the player. It locks to the y-axis. This definitely contributes to this part feeling massive because it kind of uncovers the level as you get to it, but not so much that you're blind. I think this part feels very explorative, even though there's not really much to uncover because it's not open world. I just think it's sick. God, this part goes so hard. The shakes actually make it really intense. I didn't even notice he was doing that, to be honest. Holy run. Maybe I can beat this in normal mode. I was kind of wimping out when I made the cut, but it's okay. There is one no-no aspect to it, though. Some of these hitboxes stick out into the wave. I'm sorry, I had to point it out. But other than that, this level is literally perfect. I'm not gonna lie. This level gets a 9 out of 10 from me. As expected from the Paraman himself, it almost gives me space magic vibes at the beginning, the way everything's twinkling, and that you start in complete darkness, and you just let the song pick up and really build up the next part. I love space magic for this reason, man. Here we are again with the rotation aspects. Sapunj is so influential, dude. Whenever I look at an effect level or an art level, there's always some trace to Sapunj somehow. Wow, I suck, but you know, Sapunj just has way too much influence. I'm not saying Para copied, but like Sapunj been doing some of the stuff that's going on right now for years. While I'm here, I thought I might as well just showcase some of Para's other works that he's posted on his YouTube channel, like secret collabs and stuff, because they all go so hard. This little dot grid thing that's kind of masked at some points, I do believe. This part as a whole is one of my favorite things Para has ever made. The colors are immaculate. We've got the white flashes, which are intense. Like, come on. We also have Klutz, which dropped a year ago at this point, which is wild to even think about. Kind of using the same idea. Man, this level is really cool. I love the colors in this level and just how miscellaneous it all feels when it's put together. Like, Para's always been a step ahead with his structuring. His gameplay too, how he makes it work in with like an artistic vision. Because, you know, you would never make this kind of gameplay if you didn't have this vision in mind of what you wanted it to look like, right? Or at least that's what I'm assuming. That's how it is for most people, but I think Para might just be a genius, I'm not gonna lie. He always just has the most amazing taste and effects, when to use them, how he makes them work in with the level. It's so cool. And obviously this level that I've talked about before on the channel, Untitled, Unmastered, which has a crazy use of like spawn triggers, reusing blocks, and just efficiency. This is 1,000 objects, by the way. This whole level is 1,000 objects. I think that is absolutely ridiculous. You see, the hype's building up. You can still build up tension in 1,000 objects. Like, what is that? Dude, come on. It's so cool. This is... Oh! Man, I can't get over how this is only 1,000 objects. Para just has such good taste. It's amazing to see. Some people dislike his gameplay, but you can't deny it's insane to watch. One of the best creators of all time. Definitely in the new gen as well. All right, boom. Thank you so much for watching this Geometry Dash review series episode. Para is so cool, I'm telling you. Shout out to him. Link in the description. Leave a like and subscribe and have a good day.